So, 2-1 today, Tony. What were your overall assessments of the game against Portsmouth?
I think we've come a real long way in pre-season. We've had a really fantastic pre-season. I think last week was a little bit disappointing for us. We deserved a lot more than what we got from the game. We showed that today. First half, I thought that's some of the best football I think we've seen at West Ham ladies. Some of the 1 and 2 touch football was brilliant. Second half, I think it was Portsmouth's half. They come at us, which you would expect because they were losing. But we really soaked it up well, and it's something that last season we would have crumbled at the end there.
Do you think so?
Yeah, the girls done really well, and they should be very proud of themselves.
I don't recall you barely having a touch in the first half.
No, I had a lot. We've worked a lot on our passing at the back, so
you seem very solid at the back.
Yeah, had a lot to my feet and stuff like that. But credit to the girls, they done their job. When as a goalkeeper, you want to have nothing to do, and the first half they definitely gave me that. So.
You do come across as a very flamboyant keeper. Like you like to come off your line quite a lot, don't you? And sort of like I noticed that when the game is up that end, that you're like almost at the centre circle.
Yeah, well, I've been taught by the best. Obviously, my upbringing, I've trained with like Emma Bell. Kopi has been absolutely fantastic. So I've trained with all of the keepers. That at the end of the day, we're another player. So when you've got the midfield and the defence, their lines of how far they are between each other, that's exactly the same for me, because if they get in trouble, I'm there to help them out.
When did you train with Emma Byrne? Where was that at? Was that
at Arsenal?
That was at Arsenal.
Yeah,
okay, right. What was that like? Yeah, she's a great keeper.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, the setups, they're fantastic. So, and that's something that we're trying to emulate here, which it's taken a while, but with everything, the backroom stuff and that we've brought in, it's fantastic now. The setup is where we want it to be.
Now, as we were saying earlier, we were meant to do this about 10 months ago, because I don't know what it was. I think it was bad light, wasn't it? I think because it was in November time, and it was bad light, so I couldn't film it because when I'd done Becky's one in the morning, and obviously you were going to come in after the game, but it was just too damn dark. So here we are, here we are in the light time. Tell us a little bit about how your football career got started. How did it sort of get off the ground for you?
A lot of it is to do with my mum. When I was younger, I played for ladies' teams, just played with the boys at home.
Was there a girls' team at your school?
No, I played in the boys' team at junior school.
Okay.
And then all we had at senior school was kind of 5-a-side, so that's all we did. But my mum actually put an application in for the Arsenal Academy for me, and also for the Fulham Academy.
Okay.
I got into the Arsenal one, and then I went for my trial at Fulham, and they told me I would never be good enough.
Really?
Yeah. So, and kind of 6 months later, I was on a training camp with the England first team. So, so yeah, a lot of the credit is down to my mum, because it was something I always would have stayed at the level that I was at, and she wanted to push me.
Was it always a goalkeeper?
I was outfield when I was younger, when I played at Colchester Town, but we had an injury, so I went in goal, and I got stuck in there ever since.
This is one thing that I like to ask most of the girl players. In your eyes, what do you think needs to be done for this game to catch on more and for it to progress more? Because everyone's got their own opinion, and I
think we've come a really long way for women's football. In my day, like I said, I was the very first year of the Arsenal Academy, so it literally, they'd only just been setting up academies, and now they're throughout the whole country. So there's definitely a lot more for women now. Obviously the Olympics, the GB team, the England team, obviously the England 19s being in the final yesterday. So we've definitely improved with what we've had. But personally, for me, I think that if they made it statutory that every men's football team had to invest in their women's team, the only way that women's football is ever going to get stronger and stronger is by them being full time. Liverpool, Arsenal, they've shown that. A lot of them work for them. They train full time, and look how much stronger they are than everyone else.
Then there probably wouldn't be early exits at the Euros. Yeah. No,
but
it makes sense.
We're England, and men, women, whatever. we're just not good at big competitions. But you can see we've got some fantastic young players coming through. Shows in the under-19s. So,
I can definitely.
We've got some really good young players here as well.
I could definitely see England girls winning the World Cup in my lifetime than the guys.
Yep.
Without a doubt. It's in Canada in 2015, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, you know, and then they're under sort of new management now, aren't they?
Yeah.
You know, this is the first video that I've done actually since Hope Powell left. So it'll be really, really interesting because I've been doing a bit of work on the England team, so it'll be really interesting to see how all that shapes out, you know?
Yeah, I mean, Hope Powell has done fantastic things for women's football, but sometimes, you know, a change is needed. And
Exactly.
I think that it's starting to get a little bit stale. That we've got some great young players coming through, and sometimes you need to rebuild and redevelop because maybe some of the older ones aren't what we need anymore.
And in all honesty, I reckon, because I've been studying the WSL quite a bit recently, and it's nice to come back, you know, to the Premier, you know, like in your league again, and I will be doing a lot more work with this. But there's some players that that have really shone for me. Like Jordan Nobbs, I think is an outstanding player. Gemma Davison, brilliant player,
she's very,
you know,
very strong.
but not at the Euros, you know, and Joe Potter, I think for Birmingham, brilliant player, and Rachel Williams, I think brilliant striker. You know, there's just some players that, as I've been studying this, they've just really shone.
Well,
you know,
the problem is realistically, like I say, a change is needed. You can't go into a big competition like you have, put in all of the aspirations into the WSL, yet not taking the top goal scorer in Natasha Dowie. You know, she's getting you the goals in a very high standard of league, and that she's not being rewarded for that when she's one of our best strikers.
And it was
can't be taking 4 half-injured players. It's just regardless of what their stature is.
And did you notice that Liverpool were bottom last season, then suddenly this season they're top because the men's game is sort of. It seems that the men's have
they've
invested.
got some really good players in.
Yeah.
They're very strong. They have kind of taken quite a few from Everton. But at the end of the day, if you are only training once or twice a week, there is only so much you can do.
Okay. Well, listen, Toni, I know we're very late in doing this, but listen, it's lovely to catch up with you again. And like I said, I'll be over here quite a bit for the season to come. And until that time, good luck and take care.
Thank you.
All right.
See you later.
Cheers.